Hey everyone, welcome to Teachers Love You Do. Long time no seen, and I'm super excited to see you. And after EST, I'm super energized and excited again. So welcome everyone who has already joined us. Welcome from all over the countries that you are joining from and tuning from. Thank you so much. And I would love to highlight that today we're talking about the power of playful learning. Oh my gosh, with Quizizz. And please drop a comment in the Q&A box if you have ever tried Quizizz in your classroom. And today we're going to learn from incredible Stormy Daniels. Stormy, I can't wait to invite you, and I'm doing it right now. So welcome, Stormy. How are you today?
Hello, I'm amazing. How are you?
You are amazing. I know.
No, I'm not amazing.
And
I'm amazing because I get to be here
you're
and be with you
incredible.
and
I
everyone else.
always say that. So you will be blown away because Stormy has prepared incredible Wakelet resource pack for you. Like it's so valuable. I know, I've seen it. I can tell. So I can tell you a lot about this. And please don't leave this room because we are sharing in the live chat on YouTube. So if you're watching us on Facebook Live or LinkedIn, hop in, click the YouTube link and join us. So it's going to be more interactive here on YouTube. Anyway, it's going to be fun. So if you watch us even LinkedIn and Facebook, drop your comments. I will see them. I will highlight them. Stormy,
Yes.
I said that you're amazing, but could you please give yourself like a brief self-introduction for people who have never met you? But I'm so lucky I met you in real life. Oh my God, this was incredible.
Yes.
So
So the backstory to that is Anya and I have been working together online for over 10 years. Like our classes have collaborated, we have met, we already know each other, just like the rest of our global community, which is why these amazing tools help us with collaboration. But I currently live in El Paso, Texas. That's like way over in Texas on the very edge in the United States. And I currently teach everyone I meet. I'm going to teach them something, but
oh,
I'm assigned to a classroom of between 2 to 3. I don't know what I'll be doing in a couple of weeks, but I'm just here to learn and play and collaborate and change the world together.
yeah, you've got many titles. Don't be shy. Like highlight them all. You're a global educator. You're I don't know in Microsoft and everywhere. So and you were a presenter at EST, which is like it was amazing. And I'm going to do this straight away. Yes. So please don't hesitate. Drop comments in the Q&A box from which part of the world you're tuning from. I want to say hi to Manuela. She has joined us. Michael. Yes, everyone. Thank you so much. Yeah. Ata Maria. Okay, I'm still practicing this.
Right.
Hello from Greece. Thank you so much. Hi, Eleni. Yeah, if you see the YouTube link, please hop in here. And hello from India. Yay. And Manuela. Hola. Hi.
Yes. And
Yay. My
Dr.
mom
Marley
is
said
here.
I'm also non-fungible.
Manila is incredible. And
Mhm.
so, yes, that's always true. And Stormy, I can't wait to ask you a very common question here. You know that. So,
Yes,
what
absolutely.
is coming?
Ready.
So, I know you, with all of your background experience in teaching and learning, whatever you do, you're wearing so many hats these days. You're a pro expert and amazing person. Just what is inclusive education? What does it mean to you? What is inclusive classroom? What is inclusivity? Like, all in all.
So this question, of course, we could Google, I can't even say it. Google it or chat GPT it or whatever we want to do these days. And there's a textbook definition. But I think what is often missed in inclusive education, of course, we need to make our learning accessible, right? So we need those tools and all those accessibility power tools. But what is most important that we often don't mention is that we are helping the learner. And so it's personalized for the learner. And so instead of let me make my content accessible to you so
Teacher
you can go,
centered, yeah.
I need to make sure that student, that learner, anybody, you, me, we have ways we can grow, right? And so whatever the learning is, it needs to be purposeful. And so inclusive education needs to include, like, be
Yeah,
under the umbrella of what do I need to know so I can grow? And how am I going to use these amazing accessibility tools to do it? Oftentimes we jump straight to the tool, but we don't think about why. Like, why does that student need to access this? What am I going to design in 2 weeks for my new classroom? I can't wait. for my students in my inclusive classroom to get them where they need to go. Not where I
Wow.
need to get them on a test score. Of course, that's going to be easy because we're going to be amazing. But, so I think inclusive education in a nutshell is, what do I need to know to grow? And as an educator, my task, my challenge is to get every student where they need to be so they can go to the next step and higher.
It was amazing. Just what you said, what you brought. Oh, every time, it sparks my heart so much because you shared, and this phrase that you mentioned, you need to grow. Or I want to, I will note it down. And please drop anywhere on socials, like on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, your highlights, your wows, your hows from this session. Take your screenshots. It's free PD webinar. Let's give it at least shout out to incredible Stormy and with inspiring ideas. Please don't forget to grab your takeaways and share them on social. So don't forget to tag Stormy, me as well, and use the hashtag Teachers Love You Do. Stormy, I can't wait to pass the mic to you, like with all of the incredible presentation that you made, and let's dive in.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, inclusive education.
The amazing Anya. Thank you, Teachers EDU, for having me today.
This is second time for sure. So this is not the first time.
No, and it won't be the last time, my dear.
Yes, I hope so.
Better together.
Yes.
So in the chat box, our amazing hostess with the mostest, Miss Anya, has shared two things. She has shared a Wakelet collection full of resources. So if you've clicked on that one, that's great too, because inside that collection is the link you need. She's also posted, and I posted earlier if you were here by then, the link to join the Quizizz. You are going to join not just a quiz, but a live lesson. We're going to learn together. All right. I'm going to show you what you need to know so you can grow in your ability to engage learners. All right. So we can save the world, because that's what we're here for. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm waiting for it, and I guess I got to do it.
I shared with the link to the Quizizz, and also stronger together. Beautiful, Michael. Okay.
Once I start talking, I think I stop thinking.
Good.
So, once you join, thank you, Dr. Harvey, for joining. Dr. Harvey needs competition. Right now, it's only Dr. Harvey and I. Dr. Harvey said he's here to win it. He's in it to win it. Thank you. Eleni has joined. So as you're joining, I want to share up front that what we are doing today is learning through a Quizizz live lesson. So there is no better way to learn about anything rather than to, deep dive in and go for it. Okay. So today, as you're jumping in here, hello, Manuela. Oh my gosh. I'm excited for all my friends. I have a promise before we begin. I don't promise anything today except you're going to have fun. And if you're not having fun, tell our hostess with the mostest, stop. This isn't fun. Let's amp it up and I got some more for you. All right. So that's my promise, is that you will have fun. And I hope that in addition to having fun, you maybe meet someone from around the world you don't know yet. That's always our number one thing, is to connect hearts and minds across the miles. We are going to do a personalization tactic today, where everything we do is going to be based on what you tell me. And I wouldn't tell my students that up front, but as educators, I'm going to tell you that personalization is on the plan. And finally, our path to mastery. All right. So at the end of this quiz, I guarantee we are going to travel up the mastery peak and go on a hike together. So I'm going to go ahead and click start. As I click start, I'm going to kind of talk you through what you see on your screen, because I'm in the game too. So right now on the screen, the main screen, even if you're not in the game, you see a few different things in the Quizizz platform. So I want you to think, what do you notice? What do you wonder, right? I always like to push buttons. So feel free to push buttons. We can't break anything. And if we do, I know how to restart. So let's get on with the lesson. shall we?
Yay!
This is just a quick glimpse into the resource. Right now, I'm asking you in my Pep Up Mastery behind the scenes, my teacher mode is saying, what do you notice? What do you wonder, teachers? What is embedded into this Quizizz lesson? Just do you notice this? Not only is it there as an image, but look what I'm doing. Anyways, so if you haven't joined the Quizizz yet, you can always click here and it'll help you join. Here's the agenda I just shared with you. There's something about me you don't need to know about me. ChatGPT can tell you everything you need to know. So it doesn't matter. If ChatGPT knows it, I'm evolved. All right. So after the session, you please connect with me. And of course, you're already connected to our resource. I'm going to share you everything you need to know. Oh my gosh, did I share a little next big thing? I'm not showing you that right now. So let's go on.
What an energy. Yay.
All right. Within that resource is my digital card. The most important thing I want you to know about that card is this public profile, not because of me. Keep scrolling, because of our community. All right. In my Wakelet profile, there are collections that are live, ongoing. All right. And we're always adding to these. So on my public profile, anything we're doing together, and I say we, global educators, will be right here. So click on here. There's ways to join. There's ideas. Please steal them, refine them, send them back, and we'll think it's a new idea because we're going to forget what we already did. And so let's keep the innovation moving. All right.
Stormy, there is a question from Eleni. Can I share to my teachers group? She's asking, I guess, with the Quizlet or with the Wakelet?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
share everything. Share everything. The first thing I want you to do is respond to on your device. You're going to respond on your device. I see Michael Harvey has already responded. And what I want you to notice as you're waiting, Dr. Harvey and Manuela, thank you for responding, is I'm showing you on the live screen. So this would be the front of the classroom. I'm showing you what it will look like in the classroom as students are responding, right? And so you're responding and it's pretty cool. It's hidden. Your answers are hidden, but I'm seeing that Michael Harvey already responded. So I've got to respond because it's always a competition. And then on your device, if you notice on your device, maybe your map was a little small. Maybe it wasn't the perfect image to use, but that's okay. All right. This just gives you an idea of how, you can use it. If you are responding in another tab and you have this live thing going in the background, that's okay too, because I want you to notice that there's many, many, many ways to do the same tool. As Tisha Ponzo from Wakelet says, there's not a right way. There's many ways, right? So whatever works for us. So any device the students can use. Some of you are using PCs, some of you are using MacBooks, some of you are using Androids, some of you are using robots, some of you, who knows, maybe you're using an iPhone. So your students will not see the responses unless I allow them to. And Dr. Harvey is always a good candidate. I can share Dr. Harvey's response. So you see on the screen now where Dr. Harvey is. So I can show that and I can zoom in on just Dr. Harvey's, right? So it's pretty cool. Dr. Harvey is way down there by that octopus down there. Very bottom of the map down there. That'd be cool. One day I'm going to visit. That's cool, right? But I want to know where everyone's from. So what I'm going to click on is this all player responses. And now you see everybody's responses layered on top of each other. Is it a mad mess? Absolutely. But it's pretty cool to see.
It's amazing.
Across the world where we're from, right? And I could have just shown that. So I'm going to close that and just click on Zoom view. So it would go immediately to that. And I wouldn't have to show any of the other players' responses. All right. So that's a really handy tool to use in the classroom to get participation. And now on to the next. That sound means you got something to do. In the
Oh my
United
gosh.
States where I'm from, it's almost lunchtime. So we might be a little hungry, right?
Yeah.
So something that's common across the miles, we all eat, right? And so my students like to do this when they're working with other classrooms, other, classrooms on other continents to see, that we're all much more similar than we are different.
Food
So
is the best
I
topic,
just want to
the
say
best.
that. And then you're going to see that it's pretty cool when I put this in Zoom view. If we're all drawing pizza, I'm not haven't drawn anything.
I try to draw sushi, but I'm not sure that. I'm also not good at drawing. Sometimes it's like.
So sometimes, thank you for adding that, Anya. If we're not good at drawing, sometimes the students might write the word on it. My younger
yes,
students,
I wanted
maybe
to
they're
add
not good at
sushi.
drawing. Maybe I'm not good at drawing, or I want to just pretend not to be good at drawing. And so I'm going to, show that. So I can see. And then I'm going to go like this, and then we're going to share a plate. So our plate has a bunch of different things on it, doesn't it? So this could be used for a multitude of things. I just wanted to say, let's have lunch together. All right.
I like this collaborative mode. This is inspiring, so students can see the impact, like what they have created. So that's fun.
And so now that we've all had lunch and now we're ready to go we have our siesta. Now we want to go. Well, we had our fiesta. Now we want to go take a siesta.
Yay.
Now I just have a question for you. And again, notice I'm modeling these things. I'm not teaching you how to use them. Because when you become experts and get your badge, you're going to know how to use them. Yay! I'm glad, Kevin, that you're here for fun. That's all. I'm always here for fun. So, as a teacher in my classroom, and Anna, let me know if I'm too loud.
No, that's perfect. That's okay for me. But let us know if it's too loud for you in the chat, okay?
Yeah.
So
notice I could turn down on the teacher controls in the lesson. I can turn it down.
Oh, it's perfect. It's for me. Yes. It's like.
So in my classroom, my number one goal is to have fun. Of course, I teach lower elementary, right? I don't want to say lower, younger elementary age students. And so if they're not having fun, you lost them. And kids, they're only a kid for a short amount of time. So, we want to have fun. So it shows me on the screen, 5 of 8 have responded. I can see who's responded. Even if I don't show their responses, like I went to responses view, I can see who's responded, and I can see Monica has not responded. I have not responded, right?
They're listing because I've added two things for sure.
Okay, yes, and you could list. So now I see that everyone's answered, so I can go ahead and end the question.
I like the music, it's like.
It's like
relaxing. It's like confidence,
right? Yes. And I could have ended the question, but it seems like everyone answered. So I can look at all the responses, and this lets me know as. Ooh, somebody said a magic word. I'm not going to say it though. I'm not going to say it. What do you hope to gain? Was the question. So I could have, put just the question on the screen for the students. And I meant to do that, but I really wanted you to see the teacher's end, right? So let's go on. So what is Quizizz? And before I tell you every little detail, and before you tell your students anything about anything, what's the first thing we need to know? You guessed it, what they already know. So before I tell you anything, I'm not going to insult your intelligence by teaching you something you already know. So I have another question for you.
Perfect.
Man, I'm making you work a lot. Man, I think we're here to have fun. So I would put this, for this type of question, I would put the full question on the screen. That way the students can continue to see it. If they're, dazing off, they see, oh, I have something to answer. Also, I can explain each answer choice to my students in case on their devices they don't exactly understand how to answer or what I'm expecting. So this was a really quick kind of check-in, right? So I see that everyone has at least heard about Quizizz. So I don't have to tell you that Quizizz is a learning platform and you can make it. We all got that point. So I know that. So we're on to it. So thank you for that quick assessment. Huh? That's a test. So what is Quizizz? Hint, it's more than quizzes. The name is Quizizz. And I have a feeling like everyone else, when they change their name, because that's what people do, once we get the hang of it and we become experts, they change things. But that's okay. We adapt. So Quizizz is a lot more than just quizzes, right?
Of course. It's like,
what I want to show you as I'm going through it, I want to remember to show you these buttons. Buttons are my favorite things to push. Notice when I click down on there, I'm able now, because of what you just told me, you already know what Quizizz is, right? You already know that Quizizz is assessment, instruction, and practice that motivates every student to mastery. That's the basics, right? And Quizizz tagline is, it matters how you ask, right? Our state, our district, our country, whoever guides us in our teaching practice, they tell us what to teach. They tell us what to test, right? But it's on us. The magic becomes,
yes,
how do we package that for our students, right? How do we make it the best day ever, every day, right? And so Quizizz tagline is pretty important. It matters how you ask. So we're just going to watch a quick little video, and we're skipping a lot of details here. And I'm skipping.
Quizizz helps teachers save time. Here's how it works. First, create a new quiz or mix and match millions of teacher-created questions. Next, students play at their own pace, in class or at home. Every learner competes to improve, and retakes are a cinch. While students play, Quizizz handles the grading. Instantly, you see what each student has mastered, know where they can improve, and share their progress with tools like Google Classroom. Find a quiz now.
Yeah.
So did you see what I just modeled in this lesson? I wasn't talking for about 30 seconds. That thing was. So in a nutshell, that's what Quizizz is. So let's get on with it, shall we? Yes. I always say, did you notice I put that video in there? That video could have been a video of me telling you about Quizizz. So in my classroom, I don't use videos of another teacher. I might watch another teacher's lesson on something to learn how to teach something better, but I always recreate those lessons for my students. So I'm kind of the puppet master. When I send them off to do this live lesson, maybe I assign it to them. They still have me. They can't escape. Question for you. And you're going to see how easy this is. I just want to model a question type for you real quick.
Okay.
So on your device, you're going to see some drag and drop, right? So we could do this thing as a fill in the blank, but we really want to ensure students know what they're saying before we ask them to say it, right? And so this was pretty easy. I kind of put these in 1, 2, 3 order in the question things, right?
Okay.
And then you submit, and then you see, right? So I can see the chart view. I see, how people answered. And then this full question would be on the board, and I would model how I want it answered to the students, while they're doing it. And I would only do this initially while I'm showing them how to answer questions. But instead of wasting our learners' time teaching them about a tool and how to use the tool, what I plan to do this year when I go back is have these type of questions set up for what they should have mastered before they come to me. I want to do a quick pre-check. What do they think they do? They think they're breaking into whatever grade level I'm teaching next year, right? They think they're breaking in, and they think they're learning about Quizizz. What am I doing behind the scenes as the puppet master? I'm doing a quick pre-assessment, because if they already know, I'm not going to teach them. And you see the leaderboard.
Correct. Good job for me.
So in the resources, I promised you that there is every single detail personalized just for you. So as you go through those resources, you're going to see that you can learn about Quizizz in 30 seconds if you already know about it, or in 4 minutes to get them more detailed, right? So I promise you that you're going to get every single one of your questions answered based on what you need. All right. And not today. Today, our number one objective is to have fun. All right. And we're doing that. And right now you are engaged and you are immersed in a lesson. It might seem like you're playing a game, but I'm actually delivering content to you. And I'm going to show you how I created that as we go. Actually, we're going to stop and we're going to create something together. So why would you want to use Quizizz for a lesson? Well, you can use your lesson sometimes in our county, in our countries, in our districts, in our school systems. We're mandated on what everybody has to get, right? At least students need this. And sometimes they even give us like a Google slide deck or a PDF or a PowerPoint deck of what lesson to teach, right? Some people complain about that. I don't complain about that because I use that and I make it my own. Right. And I personalize it for my students, but at least they're getting exactly what they need to know so they can grow. So we combine our lessons with these interactive question types like you're doing now.
This is beautiful, Stormy. I'm sorry that's interrupting you. So you're using right now Quizizz as a Google slide, as a PPT, right? Like just this slide. So students can like learn from the slide, like from teacher's side.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. So
yes.
Beautiful. So instead of the teacher being in front of the classroom, reading off of a slide, or instead of me right now, lessons, how we are going to import right from Google Drive. And there's some more options. We're going to insert a question. Anybody having fun? I'm not. So forget about it. We're going to get back to this. But these are just a few of the things you can do, of course. And I'm not telling you this. I'm showing you how I'm creating my lessons by giving you a lesson. Putting you in the trenches, right? So there's already pre-made quizzes and lessons, so you don't have to worry if you don't have stuff already created. Whatever topic you teach, it's already on Quizizz. On my device right now, I want to point out, I don't think you can see it, but on my iPhone, I can turn it and it might change the way that slide is all jumbled together. This is why I personally do not use imported Google Slides or imported PowerPoints into Google Slides, into Quizizz, because the formatting is just easier to do from the beginning. And I'm going to show you that in a moment. But I wanted to model that on your device. On your device, it might look like this, where the text is overlapping, depending on what device you have. So when you do a live lesson, we don't want a lot of text on there anyways, because if a student is reading your lesson, they don't need you.
Stormy, there is a question from Michael. Could this be given to students before the lesson, like flip learning, flip classroom?
Absolutely, Dr. Harvey. So I will show you in a moment. We're going to look at it live on how to assign this, either as a live lesson. You could assign it as an independent activity. You could assign it. So let's say homework, even though we ditched that homework a long time ago, you can assign it for independent practice. In my classroom, I use Modern Classroom Project like template. So think UDL, think Edu Protocols, all those amazing things, right? So I never stand in front of my classroom unless we're like planning a pizza party. But even then, I'm in their way. So I record all my lessons. And this is one of the ways I deliver them. Like, or I use Edpuzzle, or I use all of that. So my lessons, my teaching is pre-recorded. And sometimes we're watching it together and I'm the guide on the side watching me. So absolutely, Dr. Harvey.
Beautiful. So I see Eleni, they use it a lot. It's cool. I mean, Quizizz. Do you mean Quizizz? Because we mentioned Google Slides,
another way to flip your classroom, blended learning, self-paced
hybrid. You said if you can provide this, right? So like in a hybrid classroom. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. So the students really don't need to be sitting there to learn, right? And
I agree with Jadranka. And hello from Chile. Hello, Juan. Hola. Thank you so much for joining.
Before we create together, I just want to show you the interactive question types that we're going to put into our lesson. I know I'm talking fast right now because I want to get to creating together. All right.
Yeah.
So there's interactive question types. Of course, there's multiple choice. This is boring, low level, but it is there. And you can even give students more than one correct answer. I think that's kind of tricking students, but they do need to learn multiple choice if that's how they're tested, right? What's great about multiple choice is you can always have images as your answers. So you don't have to have text at all. It could be images. So perhaps you're teaching students how to read and you're teaching phonemes and you want to say choose the picture that has a word that matches the ch phonemes, right? And geez, whatever. So there's many ways to do it, even with multiple choice. It's boring. So we're going to level up a little. There's also hotspots. And for very, very, very scientific educators like Dr. Harvey and even Miss Manuela, she's very scientific. She's a music teacher at an upper level. And so her students, are very scientific. Music is science, just like reading is. And so there's this new type of hotspots, right? And they can mark the correct positions of the atriums, right? And so multiple hotspots they can choose from. So it's just another way to respond. So all they technically have to do is touch their device if they're on a touchscreen device. There's also labeling. Label the parts of a leaf, right? Or you can have any content here. Label the life cycle. Label the water cycle. Label the, I don't know, whatever you want to label.
Like body parts, if ASL teachers, language teachers, perfect tool, perfect activity. Absolutely, actually. Absolutely. I love it. I love it.
So there's also fill in the blank. So earlier I had you do something where you drag and dropped. And initially I would say do drag and drop until they learn that academic vocabulary. And then after that, expect them to fill it in. Quizizz is a tool for, and I want you to put in create, collaborate, and deliver, right? But initially, think about what you want to do initially. And I'm using my slider because I want to skip to the good part here. Drag and drop. We've already modeled that. The draw tool. We drew one of our favorite things. Everybody's favorite thing is food because we like to eat, right? So now it's your turn again to use that draw tool in another way.
There's a message from Manuela. The notes on a xylophone. Yeah.
So while my students are working over there, I can make a little jot down some
numbers.
Who's not responding. And so once again, on the big screen, I have everyone's answers hidden. What we are going to do in a moment is, look at a few of them or maybe one of them. But what I'm doing behind the scenes is getting an assessment of, first of all, how the students are using this frame, how they're able to respond. And I don't have to use a worksheet. I haven't printed anything. So yes, as Dr. Harvey mentioned earlier, if I would have assigned this, it could have been me on the previous step in the lesson. I don't want to really say a slide, but on the previous slide, it could have been my video modeling myself solving something. And on the very next step, I would have the students solve a different question involving the same skill. And for those of you that will need to use a math solver, there's also the math editor inside of Quizizz, so they can write more sophisticated math responses, such as
built in inside of Quizizz.
Built in inside of Quizizz. Ooh. So one of the question responses is a math response. So if you're a math teacher or math is your favorite subject or whatever you want to do to deep dive, I would highly suggest deep diving into the math editor responses.
Wow.
All right. And so now we're going to do a live demo. And that's why I zoomed through it all, because I want to get it done, right? So 2 things I want to live demo right here. The first thing is really cool is this spinner wheel. I know we all have a toolbox of amazing things. And we're going to choose a winner right now. And it can't be me.
Yay, Lenny.
Yay. So right now we have a winner, right? Or maybe this is who I chose to answer a question or to model something, or maybe they get to choose the next activity, or maybe they get to be the line leader. I don't know, whatever it is. But I wanted to show you that that is right there in that spin the wheel tool, right? I could have spun again. Spin the wheel tool right within the dashboard. And also there's a live whiteboard. You see it here. You could doodle, scribble, draw shapes, or annotate on your screen. And we're going to model that right now. So it is your turn. And I'm going to turn this slide into, and I'm going to allow others to draw. And now everybody add your ideas to this live whiteboard or whatever you want to put. I just want to model how you can do it by allowing you to do it. And I can change the background on my end. I can see everybody who's drawn or not drawn. I can see we're all drawing. I can make this bigger, smaller.
Okay,
so as you're drawing this, what I want you to really do is think about how this is helpful for you to get that quick check on learning. This was not a slide I put in here to question you. This is something I said, oh, I haven't asked them to respond in a while. They might be sleeping on me. Let me see what they're doing. You know, hey, let me do a quick check on learning. And all I did from the dashboard was launch the live drawing tool, right?
wow.
I love that you guys are drawing scenery. It must be summertime when we want to be outside.
Near the beach.
So perhaps you just explained a concept and you're like, oh, I forgot to add a question about, you know, a response question right here. No worries. Even if you didn't pre-plan it, you can always add it in there. And you'll notice right here that I can change the background for you. I could upload an image. I could put a blank screen while you're doing it. So even if I wasn't ready, I could change anything on the fly, right? And so
it's like brainstorming. It can be like if you plan with your class, like something like the upcoming events, for example, and you've got from the last year, we had Shakespeare's Nights with parents. It was incredible. So we plan it annually. So, you know, this my idea just popped up.
Yes. And so while I'm explaining things, I'm still here in the class. I'm still with them and I'm giving them time to draw. Something that I always hear, and my kids are young, so they don't really have cell phones, but is teachers spend so much time planning where their students are going to store their cell phone in the classroom. And I think, why? They have the world's knowledge at their hands and you're taking it away from them. Don't do that. But if you use something like Quizizz or many, many other things, right now I have your full attention if you're on your phone, because I can see you're drawing. You might not be drawing what I want you to draw, but you're not on Twitter. You're not on whatever. I don't know what kids are on now, TikTok. I don't know. But I have you engaged, right? So then I'm going to go ahead and end it. And now I have some more feedback. All right.
What degree Celsius in New Zealand? Really? Like, wow.
And I see somebody has their hand up. Another feature is that somebody could raise their hand, and I'm going to raise my hand. And I looked at my wrong. So I see that this person, me, I need more time. So I can also get lower
40
hands.
degrees. Oh my gosh.
So you guys you see that little hand on your device? You can raise your hand.
Yes, like this.
And you can ask for clarification. So even if you weren't in this meeting, I would know if you were paying attention or not. I would know if you're in the meeting. So this is amazing for asynchronous learning.
Yes.
Even if I'm, you know, launching the lesson and they can't log into a Zoom, they can log into my Quizizz and they can see me because I put a video in there. They can see, you know, I can see them. So those are the three tools I wanted to point out. Raise your hand, live whiteboard, and spin the wheel. All
Super accessible. Love them. Love them. All of
yes,
these.
and these are the things I'm going to skip. I'm going to right now go into, we are going to create together. Let's create together, shall we?
Yes.
And my intent is to leave this space here for you. So if you're in the live lesson, you can have this on your tab, but it won't work because you're in the live lesson. Actually, No, it will work because you're still in the meeting. So in the meeting, I'm going to share this tab instead. Now in the meeting, I am in Quizizz in my dashboard, right? So let me check. Yes, you can see my Quizizz dashboard. We are going to create together. You see my library. So I'm showing you, this is really my library. There's that lesson you're in. We are going to create together. When you click on that amazing create button, you can create a quiz or you can create a lesson. Wow. All right. When you create a lesson, we've been practicing so much in a lesson that we're not going to create a lesson together, but I wanted to show you what it looks like. This looks probably very familiar to you. Probably everything where we can create a lesson almost looks the same. I say it looks like PowerPoint with some different buttons or some different, graphics. So it's all good. So yes, I can import slides from Google Drive, but I don't have to. But if you do, you just import from your, that's easy. I can also upload a PDF file. If you're like me and you use PowerPoint, it tells you exactly right here how to make your PowerPoint into a PDF so you can upload it as a PDF. So that's all there for you. So I don't need to tell you that. That's every time you create a lesson, you're going to see that. Right now, you won't remember that if I make you an expert on it anyways. And so let's get on with having fun. Adding a new slide, you see all the question types I can add. Exactly what I just did in my lesson. I just did all of these things, not everything.
There's a great selection. Like I haven't seen that many on Kahoot and free version for sure.
No, we want to talk about Bruno. Okay, so we're going to talk one question I know you have. Is this the paid version? Is this a premium version? Is this the free version?
Yes.
The only difference that really, really matters to us, you can do all this amazing stuff. The only thing you cannot do in the free version right now is the video and audio, like adding them to your lesson. But you really don't need that if you're doing a live lesson because you're talking, right?
Yes, yes.
And you can put links in there though, so they could watch a video and come back to the quiz, or to the lesson. So those are the only two things in free before you ask me, is this free? Is this not? Right. And then I can add text, media, shapes, all that stuff. I can search on teleport. So that addition lesson we did told me that we might need a little thing on addition. And so I can go through these millions of questions.
Wow.
Right. And I can create a lesson. And some of
these
might.
Are we talking about AI?
Not yet.
Not yet. But this looks incredible.
This is as Quizizz as ever been. Quizizz has always done this. Quizizz has always done this. I'm going to say that again. Quizizz has always done this. They're amazing. So anyways, I can choose what to add. I can add all 16 of these slides, or I can choose what to add. All right. I'm going to show you in a minute how that is even more personalized in a moment, but I'm not going to spend time right now. I'm going to save that because this lesson is incomplete. Discard it. What we are going to create now is a quiz because I want to show you that it's really the same thing. There's my teleport. Right now, my search was professional development. I'm going to say 3-digit addition. 3-digit addition. Because from our little thing there, I saw that some of us might need help to borrow or something or carry over, or I don't know what we call it, but or I'm just making this up because why not? So I'm going to add all 17 questions to our quiz. We're making this quiz together. All right. And you see now I have a quiz on 3-digit addition. That's,
oh my God, it's ready.
In Texas, I could assign this to a standard and tag it. If I say tag, I can find my TEAC, my standards right here. I'm in Texas, so our standards are called TEACs. I know it's math. And so and let's say it's 2nd grade.
And I love your mouse icon. Can you see Minecraft thing? It looks so great.
And I can even search within my thing because maybe I don't have it. Oh, there it is. Let's just say, I know it's not that TEAC, but I'm going to say it's that. So now my question is tagged to that TEAC. So later on, when you deep dive into reports, you can do it by student, by standard. And that's the way we need to differentiate for, right? And so I can tag all at once. So all of these are that. And so I'm already tagged, right? You might see this right now. It says AI enhancements are here, beta. I'm going to show you that in a minute. You might see right here, it tells me to enhance with AI in some places. I'm going to show you that in a minute. But the reason I want to create this quiz is I want to show you how easy it is to create a quiz on the fly. Let me name this, because I want to prove that this is a live quiz. This isn't something I prepared for you, because I'm going to put you through a mastery check on this standard, right? And so webinar or mastery.
It's not only easy to use, it's like easy to create. This is what the most essential thing to me. Like, easy to create. Like, here we go. Few clicks.
I can preview that quiz and I can see what it looks like. There's many, many, many ways I can modify this. One of my favorite ways is to put my students' names in there, and I'm going to show you in a moment. Well, I'm going to show you what's coming. So I can upload. Actually, I don't want to upload. I want to search for an image, even the image edition.
So the image is a free feature, yeah, for the free account.
Free.
So we can free.
So I can add any image. That doesn't apply, but okay, I'm going to add that. So you see that everything I'm doing was not planned. I'm just kind of doing it from, and what I'm going to do, Dr. Harvey, here's your answer to your question. I'm sorry it took me so long to get to it. I can assign asynchronous learning from a lesson, and I can assign it from a quiz. So I can assign independent practice, and there's many, 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 many different ways I can do that with. So for blended learning, I can even customize my memes. So if you were at my session at CEST and you did my scavenger hunt that was based in Quizizz, if you didn't know, then all of my memes were customized and they had me in them and they had a clue in them, right? So I'm going to go back to this quiz we just created here in 5 seconds, and I'm going to start a live quiz. It could be instructor paced. If I have my class and I want to guide this in a fun way, I'm going to do an instructor paced, and it's very similar to a lesson, except it's just the quiz, but students are really excited. So but the classic way is the best for blended learning, flipped learning. And my most favorite way is Mastery Peak. So I'm going to choose continue, and I'm not going to allow you to do that yet. I'm going to come back here and share this, because that's what we're going to do as soon as we end. And I wanted to change what I'm sharing. So now we're back here and I'm sharing this again. So we created together. Now I want to show you the next big thing. So if you have a question, I was checking the chat box really quick.
Yeah,
before. So what Anya, as my friend Anya has been talking about is what I'm about to show you. I don't want anything to be about a tool or a service or about the next big thing that we're all worried about, but it is involved. So let's go. Okay. Let's go there, shall we?
Yes.
And this is, once again, an embedded video. This is from the expert Kyle from Quizizz. So if you don't follow Kyle on
Twitter, he's on Twitter,
on anything, totally follow him. He shares the most amazing things you do with Quizizz.
Hey all. So I was just at CEST, so forgive the sunny background. I was in a conference center for the last 4 days, so I just wanted to get outside. But I had to make sure as soon as I got home that I showed everyone who was not there all the AI stuff that we were showing to tons and tons of teachers at CEST, and it was getting a lot of buzz. So I'm going to just show you short and sweet some of the stuff that's happening now in AI. It's not out yet. It's very much like beta, but it's cool. And before I just get into it and just show you, I'm going to tell you right now what makes the Quizizz AI, I think, just really top notch. And that's that it's not just the normal, hey, put in a topic and tell us some questions and we'll make a quiz for you. You'll see if you're a Quizizz user, it's not hard to find a quiz on Quizizz. You can find anything in a matter of seconds and teleport it. It's not hard. So what we're focused on, and the team is focused on, is very much taking the content you already have or can find easily and making it really, really good and enhancing the quality of it and making it more fun. So anyway, let me just show you. So watch. So the topic I was just messing around with, let's see. I picked, what did I pick? Oh, dividing fractions. Cool. I'm just going to show you just some examples. So let's just find a quiz. Again, it's already out there. It's not hard to find a quiz. I mean, if you haven't noticed, actually, we have lots of lessons here. So let's just do a 10-question quiz, and we'll make it just quizzes. Okay, cool. All right, let's do this one. This one looks great. All right. And so soon enough, you'll see this kind of enhanced with AI feature. And the idea, like I said, is to take the questions you have and just make them a lot better. And you can do it question by question, or we can do it for the whole quiz. So let's do a whole quiz. I feel like that would make the most sense. Okay, you have a decent quiz here. Maybe it's wonderful, but let's make it better. All right, so I'm gonna make this quiz my own. And over here, let's just modify the whole quiz. So the first thing I'll do is, these are good questions, but like as a math teacher, a lot of times you might want them to be all real world scenarios. Perfect. So let's actually use this prompt right here. So I would convert this to real world scenarios. And look, all these questions that were just 3/8 divided by 1/6 are now real world scenarios. So that looks perfect to me. And there we go, real world scenarios, all good. But if you're like me, I was a middle school teacher for 16 years, and I like to kind of make things, a little silly, goofy, cringy almost, right? So your kids are hopefully even more engaged. So that's probably the next thing I would do, is I made them like, really good, and I ramped it up. But then I'd probably say something like, make them all sound like Jack Sparrow or some other character wrote them. Just again, make it silly and goofy. And there we go, all these questions written by Jack Sparrow. All right, so now we have our questions written by Jack Sparrow. And I mean, you know your kids better than I do, of course. Like, is Jack Sparrow going to be the person? Is it going to be Iron Man or Pokemon or Cardi B or whoever it is? They're going to probably want to see the questions a lot more, even if they're engaged or just like, I can't believe you even attempted to do this. Like, I'm curious to see how cool they are or cringy they are. All right, so we made them written by Jack Sparrow. We made them real life scenarios. And there's obviously other scenarios you can do here with AI. So maybe you have different level students for reading levels, and you want to change one quiz to have simpler language than the other language as far as the lexile levels. Maybe you just want to make sure that grammatical errors are correct. Maybe you have a student who only speaks Spanish in your classroom, and you want to make sure that you change it to Spanish. And I'm hoping you really see the idea that this is like, change the language for a student, make it more fun for them, enhance the quality of it. You can add more questions, right? Just add 5 more questions just like this. Like, the goal is the same. It is take what you have, that you already have in your library or in the library, and just make it more awesome with AI. This is coming out soon for back to school. That's the plan. We're going to work out all the little kinks and the bugs and really make this as good as we can for everyone. So thanks for watching, and I hope that you are just as excited as I am for what's coming out in the Quizizz AI world.
Thank you, Kyle. And here's his handle on Twitter. So I just dropped it, and follow him. Wow.
So how awesome is that, right?
Epic.
So that's why I didn't want to let the cat out of the bag on how to customize those questions just yet, because he really explains it the best, right? And quickly. So oftentimes somebody might have a question like, what do I do if I don't have one-to-one devices? What do I do if my students, don't have it? There is also, maybe weren't aware of this, a customizable printing option. So you could even just print the quiz. So maybe you want them to work it out on paper and enter their answers. So there's so many options, right? And what I do when I don't have one-to-one devices, or when I don't want them to use one-to-one devices, I want teamwork. I have one device per team, and then they collaborate together on their whiteboard tables, or however they collaborate, they solve, they discuss, and then they jointly answer. So they'll enter as team 1, team 2, team 3, sharks, fish. I don't know who they want to be.
Yeah, sharks.
So that's another way, and that's actually a very good way to ensure they're still talking to each other. Often we have one-to-one devices, we don't collaborate. So, and I want to remind you of the resources and support that are in the Wakelet collection. We've come so far from there, I forgot what it was. And I want you to notice, what do you notice? What do you wonder? This is a Genially link. It's also linked in your Wakelet resource, but this Genially link is linked right here. So on your device, accept those cookies. And then all of these clickable things in here are clickable on your device. So,
wow.
Kind of like a Bitmoji classroom.
Yes, it's just digital classroom, virtual classroom.
So your students can click anything there. So even if you don't have the paid version, you can link to things. Maybe it's a picture of Dr. Harvey, and his students click his face to link to his live lesson. right? And then this will still be open, of course. So I wanted to show you that. Not only that, this amazing Gina Lee page here is everything you're going to need to know to become a master, to include, Dr. Harvey, how you can get your Quizizz badge for being a Quizizz game changer. I'm sure he already is.
That's
So
good.
now, are you
Why?
ready? Dr. Harvey, we love you. Thank you for being here. I always give him a hard time, but it's just fun. So are you ready for the Mastery Peak Challenge?
Of course.
Of course. So before we jump into it, I want you to notice that on the Mastery Peak, of course, the students are competing, but they're competing at their ability level. And by the magic behind Quizizz, it knows automatically how students are performing, and it adapts them. Doesn't change the questions, but for Mastery Peak, it will adapt them to a group. So
Wow.
I might be in
Good
the
point.
iron tier group, but I can be first of the iron tier, right? You see these different tiers here, right? And so you're going to notice that in your game that you're the top of that group. And so for students, that's really important because it doesn't matter how fast we go. It matters that we don't stop, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to point that out. So I have already assigned a Mastery Peak. No, I didn't. I'm going to end this. Share this tab instead. So for those of you that are in a Quizizz lesson,
Okay.
I'm going to come to the end and I'm going to end the lesson.
Oh no.
And right here, Dr. Harvey, on my screen, if you see, it's going to pop up assign homework. So if my students didn't do too well, it says I can improve student retention by 19%. I can assign this as homework right there, right from the thing. So not only before, but after, during. So totally customizable, right? I can view reports. I can go home. I'm going to go home right now.
Stormy, I would love to highlight that when you have ended the lesson, so the emojis popped up and I could reflect as a student, different emojis, like, how was it? It's I think it's great.
Yes, absolutely. So you can see your own personal data. You can review. Your students can say, hey, I would also like, if you're still on your device and you're still logged in, you're going to see that you have some other options. And it says, go learn about Quizizz, go learn about PowerPoint Basic, go whatever. It based on something, it found you something. And then you can add a review, right?
Wonderful.
Right now, if you look at your device and then close that, you're going to be back at the join a game. All right. And you are going to join a game. I'm back in my library here. I'm going to close it because I started the wrong Quizizz, I think. I'm going to go back to my library. I'm going to go back to that Mastery Peak from the webinar. And we are going to start a live quiz, classic Mastery Peak again. I had to click on it, not just look at it. And then there's many options here. There's many options I can choose here. I can choose name factory so I don't see your real names. And
good.
Perhaps but let's use name factory. I can assign this to my classes. So my classes log in through ClassLink, so I can automatically assign this and they will see it on their dashboard. The dashboard you're looking at right now, waiting for the code, they will already see it. But you can learn all of that when you master your Quizizz. So now I would like you to, let me see what tab is showing, join my quiz the same way you joined a quiz over there. All right. What's cool about this that you can't do with lessons is you can show a QR code.
Should we use the special camera that has built in the Quizizz or just a regular one from the cell phones?
Either way, it works both ways.
Perfect. Love this.
It works both ways. Sometimes on some devices, it won't load the quiz. So I always have my students type in joinmyquiz.com. And then I don't always need to find the QR code, or I don't always need to print it, or I can, right?
And I love, I'm sorry, Stormy, for the interruption. I love the students still can choose the names. They're different random names, but they can choose. They still have got the option. Semalina. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm picking up this one.
And the cutest thing ever, right? Okay, I teach little kids, but even for high school kids and adults, I think it's so cool that we are now camping together. We're going hiking, my friends. Do you see this? On your screen, you're ready to go. Let me join. And you see even on your device, all your friends are there with you. So imagine being in the class and be like, yay, hey. And then I always say, okay, team leaders, if we're using our real names, make sure your team is in. If you don't see your team in the game, go help them, right? Or they already do because they want to get started. And so we have 7 in, and I'm going to go ahead and start it. I want to show you the difference in this in a regular quiz. So now, on your device, there's some action. I don't have to tell you, go start your quiz. You already are drawn to it, right? You're probably ignoring it. It's okay. Mute this volume so you can hear me. But there is a cool music that plays, and so that could be like your classroom atmosphere, you know, kind of like mystery. And what you should do while you're walking around is notice who's not moving on this mountain. So this kid, Dulce Dent, hasn't moved at all. A few reasons for that, right? He's probably not engaged. Maybe his device isn't working. Maybe he needs help. So then, as the ninja you are, the facilitator of learning, the master, you are walking around the classroom and you can help that student either get him on task or provide him the resources he needs for that inclusive learning.
Yay.
Right? I don't have to say, hey, you need to answer. I see you're not playing. We would never do that, right? We shouldn't do that.
Yes, that's true.
So I can see who's moving to the top of Mastery Peak. You'll notice that up here on the Mastery Peak, I have set the mastery level to 80%.
I'm so helpless. The only numbers, Stormy, so many numbers.
I apologize. I could have made it easier.
That's good for math people, kind of like, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, it is addition. I apologize. I should have made it.
It's still fun. It's fun.
I really wanted to model how.
I need to improve that because it's my
gosh. I right now I don't know who's who in your classroom when your students are.
Now the sound is on.
Okay. Sorry. So when your students are assigned this and it gives them names, if they're logged into Quizizz, you're going to know who is what name. And so you're still going to get the reports on the student and how they did. It's just publicly, it's not. If I was playing this internationally with some co-teachers from around the world, we can choose to use made up names or we cannot. It's still fun, right?
Yes.
And so all of the question types that we talked about today, you can use in Mastery Peak. All of the question types that we talked about can be used in a quiz. They can all be used in a lesson, a live lesson, right? So as Quizizz says, it matters how you ask. For some things, like maybe I should have converted all of these to draw or fill in the blank so my students have something to draw on, or required a picture. You know, there's different ways I could have asked these questions, and I probably wouldn't have just had the boring types of questions like Anna doesn't like right now. It's okay.
I'm doing great. Wait,
I can customize every single question, even if I copied it from the teleport. I just imported all of these. One student has attained mastery of 80%. So that Clementine, I'm going to ask Clementine to challenge himself or herself or their self. And I'm going to ask you to try to get 100%.
Yeah, I think.
So you see that I have somebody at 80%. And I know that because on the mountain, this person is at 80%. And these people are about, I'm going to push those people. I want them to get 100. So I might not say that, but I'm going to go over and I'm going to say, hey, did you get 100%? Do you think you can? And I'm going to ask them to keep playing to 100%. Right? Whereas this person, that's me down there, that's not there yet, you know, it's okay. I just want to get them to the top of their tier and then help them get to 80%, or have these people that are going to be sitting on the top of the mountain in a moment. I'm going to say, okay, remember, we don't leave a tiger behind. We got to, you know, when you reach the top of the mountain, you find a higher mountain, but we never leave somebody behind. So find out if somebody near you needs help in their hike, right? And so we're going to help each other get to mastery. But I, as the teacher, have total control over who's there, where they're at. And so basmati, isn't that a type of rice in the bronze tier? Basmati, if I'm saying that correct.
I did it. I was so into it. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I just shared that I'm not the math kind of person. Numbers, it's not my language.
It's okay. We're going to help you. So I see that somebody has reached.
Somebody has reached the peak. I feel myself. Oh my gosh, I'm a leader.
So here, yes, you are the leader. Yay! So you see that there are 3 winners here. Everybody's a winner. Nobody is left behind. Even if I have 0 points myself, I'm still on the leaderboard, right? I'm still part of things. And I would like for those people that are already on the peak, we're going to find a higher mountain for them. But first, they're going to make sure everyone at least gets to 80%. And so in my classroom of personalized learning, our goal is reaching mastery before they go on to the next level.
Oh, there's this music for me.
I've ended it.
Wow.
And so then there's still the same cool stuff, but you see that everybody is included in this celebration.
Gold. Oh.
Even
really?
though
It's me? It's me. Gold. Ah.
Most determined. Right?
Oh my gosh.
The most determined. And you see all of this data that I have. Like everything has data. Everything has by student, by standard. Everything has that.
This is my favorite part as well.
Like everything. Yes. But it is very powerful. I can go, and look at all of this stuff. It's not stuff. It's important. Data doesn't lie, right? It tells a story. Yes. So then I'm done. The quiz is over, and that's what you see.
Okay, data doesn't lie. It says the story. It tells the story. Okay, another saying from Stormy. I just,
data doesn't lie.
Data doesn't lie. Wow.
More data-related quotes, but
wow.
Okay, and now I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to end now.
Beautiful. Actually, I was so into it. I was so into it. Yeah, numbers. Yeah.
So I want you to not forget the powerful resources that our hostess with the mostest has shared. And I know we went over the time. I thank you for still
being that's here. Okay.
If you're watching on the re-live, follow each other. Put your handles in the chat box here so we can continue to collaborate. Remember, the most important thing I would like to share with you is I'm ready for a global project. And what are we doing next, my friends? We can use Quizizz to do it for fun. But
yes,
what's the topic? Where's our why? Our why is not to make something fun. Our why is to save the world. So what are we doing?
Again, how do you do that?
Yeah.
Monica, thank you so much for joining. You're amazing. I'm so happy that you joined us. Miss you. And thank you for Manuela. Again, emotion connected to learn. Yes, there are so many. Like Manuela, you are so inspiring as well. And I can't wait to have you for the 3rd time here. And can't wait. And like from Bernadine, let's see what. Thank you so much, Stormy. I hope to share this information with my teachers who are teaching ESL. Yes, personal, you share the personal experience and your point of view, and you're an expert in Quizizz, and you present an honesty with Quizizz, and what you shared, this highlights. Quizizz is like universe as well these days. Like it would take us ages to learn all of these features. Even I saw that in the chat, there are teachers like Eleni there, they have used, and Jadranka, they have used this tool in the classroom. But today you covered like AI from Kyle. I haven't seen this video. I'm certified in Quizizz, but I haven't seen this. So as I promised, Stormy has shared her beautiful stories, her beautiful quotes, and also her personal experience and knowledge about the new features on this beautiful platform. Thank you, Lenny. Thank you for this active part, for taking such active part in the chat. It's always a pleasure.
So, Anya,
always a pleasure. Yeah, Stormy. Yeah, sorry.
Just on closing, I would like to say it's not about the tool. It's about the purpose of the pedagogy. So even though I did use Quizizz at ISTE, what I was talking about, right? We were discovering the global goals. And so we need to find tools that engage our students to make the purpose of saving the world and empowering our students easy and fun. And then it's going to happen. So together we will.
How do just, beautiful, cool idea. All the ideas are incredible. Stormy, on Gather Town, you made a beautiful presentation. Again, you brought your personal experience, your PBL ideas, and they are all tremendous. Outstanding presentation. I totally agree.
It would be cool to meet in Gather Town and have a Quizizz based like scavenger hunt. But
Oh
you
my
have to
God.
run around Gather Town to, oh, I have an idea.
Okay,
Run
let's
around-
let another live when. So we need to schedule this as soon as possible.
More to come. There's always more to come.
Totally agree with Jadranka. Nice, incredible presentation. Totally agree. Tools are not toys.
So Eleni has a question, I think. I don't know if she's still here. Neither in Quizizz Premium. I wasn't
Yeah,
sure.
it was said when you were sharing, when you were covering this, what is free, what is not, and we mentioned Kahoot, lots of not free stuff there. But Quiz is doing great job. Thank you so much to all the developers and to the team and to the Kyle. His contact, his Twitter handle is in live chat, so you can give him a follow. And yeah, not a question. That's that statement for sure. If you watch us as a recorded version, please don't forget again to share with your highlights. It would be amazing to see what you have learned. And if you got this beautiful resource collection for Stormy, give her a shout out because it's incredible. This over an hour, it's amazing time. And there is no strict limits. No, that's okay. Totally fine. We're still learning and it's like summertime. Come on. I can play. I was into number game, and I got the golden thing. I feel myself like I'm the winner. That's amazing feeling. It's like now I'm thinking about my like my students, your students, our students. What would they feel if they're like, oh my gosh, I always was told, my mom, she told me, sorry, mom, but that's true. She always told me that, Anna, you're not good at numbers, math, it's not yours. I know that. Well, but I think it depends on the teacher again. So I feel that today you empowered me so much. I felt like I was included, and inclusion and inclusivity is my favorite. Those are favorite words of mine. And you just made my day. I feel myself like, yes, I can do anything. I can take the Everest and, the Everest mountain and everything. Like, thank you so much, Stormy. It was brilliant. I shared with Wakelet Collection twice on YouTube Live, so you can hop in. The live chat will be on forever. And here we go. There's from Eleni. I also posted it to my Facebook group of teachers. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, let's spread it because Stormy always shares lots of great ideas. And if you spread it, it's amazing. So better together, strong better together, lots of these incredible hashtags from the most inspiring to people in my circles. And thanks everyone. There's this from Dr. Harvey. So the power of addition, when great educators combine. Yes, beautiful.
Yes.
You are very good at quotes as well. And thanks again to everyone who joined us and for empowering. And Stormy, so many, this again, can I do that? It's not like I'm crazy about them, but it's just, you totally deserve it.
So it's important to remember that the tool is simple, but what needs to be added is the how, the why, the how, and what we're doing with that data. When I say data doesn't lie, data tells a story. What are we doing with it to help our students know what they need to know so they can grow, right? It's not just, hey, they got A, B, C, D, 170. It means nothing. How can I apply it next?
Wow.
This is just one of the ways.
This is
pedagogy.
Beautiful. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate. You can reach us. You can reach Stormy and all of the contacts on the resource collection. And you can find her easily on Twitter. And she is getting more active on Instagram. I know that.
Yes,
so yes, sure. So and on Facebook. So we're always together. And if you have any questions for Stormy, I can deliver them to her resource collection. You may share. And again, thanks everyone who joined us. Let's make this world a better place for teaching and learning. Stormy, you are amazing. Thank you so much. And please don't leave this room. We are taking another selfie. And thanks everyone who joined us again. Stay safe and stay tuned. So see you in the next video webinar. Stormy, we can't wait to have you more. Bye everyone. Bye. Thanks.